All right, can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? I think it's because okay, I'm going live on my phone. All right, now there's no huge high tech equipment going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no high tech equipment or anything like that. This is my phone right now. All right. No, okay. Thank you. I had my Bluetooth on. I think I still had my Bluetooth connected, and that's one of the reasons why you couldn't hear me. All right. All right. We good? Okay. People are saying that that's better. All right. Nah, seriously. Normally, I record at the radio station that I work at, 90.9 FM. But I'm at home, man. I'm at home. So I'm just doing it on my phone, man. So I apologize if you couldn't hear me. I'll backtrack, do a little, rewind. But I was talking about Traquan Smith. I was talking about how Traquan Smith has been the standout of the joint practices that the Saints had with the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, he's really stepped up. He's done several interviews where he talked about he's more acclimated to the playbook. The game slowed down for him, and it really started showing practice. I want to see it shown in some games because I think he dropped a pass in the first game, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the kind of stuff that you don't want to see, man. I mean, high expectation for Traquan Smith. I think a lot of people are counting on him to be that number two receiver that complements Michael Thomas. He's shown flashes that he can possibly be a game changer. I remember the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, not the playoff game, but the game that they played during the season. And when Michael Thomas was being double covered throughout the game, Traquan Smith stepped up for over 130 yards. So if he can kind of replicate what he did with the Philadelphia Eagles game, I think that we'll be in good shape. But speaking of emerging, you got to talk about Emmanuel Butler. Now, for those that don't know who Emmanuel Butler is, he's been tearing it up at camp. He dominated the Saints headlines when Michael Thomas was holding out, and he was practicing with the Los Angeles Chargers as well. And I got a video up on my Facebook page, facebook.com, search the State of the Saints podcast. And Emmanuel Butler was going one on one with a cornerback for the Chargers, and man, he basically posterized that guy. I mean, you would know if you were looking at Emmanuel Butler, a Megatron, Calvin Johnson. I mean, I'm not trying to, I ain't trying to gas him up. I ain't trying to hype him up, but the catch that he made on that cornerback for the Chargers, it really shows that this guy's hungry. And a lot of people are looking forward to seeing him play. He was tearing it up at camp, but then he ended up getting injured, missed like three practices, and the Saints held him out in the first preseason game just to make sure that he's healthy enough. But I think he's going to be a go against the Chargers. I'm interested to see how this guy's going to play in real time. He tearing it up at practice. That's cool. But can you go out there and perform in a real game situation? You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying preseason is a real game. It's just an exhibition. But for you to go out there and go up against some stiff competition, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers were a really good football team last season, got all the way to the divisional round of the playoffs. I can argue and say if they probably played that division game in Los Angeles, they probably would have beat the Patriots. I just think that the Patriots were one of those teams they just basically really unbeatable at home, especially in the playoffs. So the Chargers were a really good football team, and a lot of people in the media had them and the Saints playing in the Super Bowl. So Emmanuel Butler, I hope that he plays and gets some extended playing time because he didn't play the first preseason game, and I hope we really see what this young man has. So right now, what I want you to do, if you have any questions, concerns, or anything like that with the Saints, you can go ahead and comment down below. I'm just basically here to answer any questions that the Who Dat Nation have, man. So just want to take a few minutes to just answer anyone's questions because there are so many people, and shouts out to you all who inbox me and they ask me questions about the black and gold, want to get my perspective. So I really do appreciate it. And also, if you're on social media, if you're on Instagram, I have an Instagram page now. It's TJ Jones underscore. That's TJAYJONES underscore. Okay. If you have not already, please follow me on Instagram. I'm just starting out. I'm trying to put like different videos on there, also just different pictures. Just try to get you all informed. It's probably going to be like different videos that I normally would post to the Facebook page, but I'm probably going to start doing things exclusively for the Instagram. So please follow me on Instagram. I still will be putting up New Orleans Saints news and videos, and you'll get to see a few pictures of me and my family. But if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below, okay? Let's see if anybody has any questions right now. Let's see. What teams do you have us losing to? I think, let me see. I'll be 4-quarter close battles against Seattle and Bears. I can see us 14-2, a step higher after each loss. The last two heartbreaking seasons. Drew, Drew goddamn Brees. I don't think that's the real Drew Brees. If it is, man, I'm honored, sir. But but going 14-2, to be honest with you, I don't think that's realistic, man. Like I hope they go 14-2, but I don't think that's gonna happen, man. What you're playing this season is a bunch of division winners. Like I understand that teams switch from year to year. They become good and then they don't be so good. One team in particular I can think about right now is the Jacksonville Jaguars, who the Saints have to play this season. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, you remember year before last, they went to the AFC Championship game. They were a game away from the Super Bowl before losing to the Patriots. And then the next year, they took a step back. I mean, of course, you have situations like that, but you still have to play some top stiff competition, man. Who do I see the Saints losing to? Man, to be quite honest with you, I gotta cross that bridge when I get there. I can't just go about what I know from last season because teams change from year to year. You know what I'm saying? Teams you think gonna be good, like I mentioned about Jacksonville, they may not end up being good. Okay, so in teams that you think that the Saints will probably run all over, they'll probably be better. So I think we need to cross that bridge when we get there, get a complete body of work. I'm more focused on week one, Drew. That's what I'm focused on. Week one. Can we finally win a game, that on opening day? Can we beat the Houston Texans? That's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on how many wins the Saints gonna get because, to be honest with you, the only thing that matters is you have enough wins to make the playoffs. Like having the number one seed is, winning the division is the I guess the first goal. Then getting home field is the second, and of course, winning the Super Bowl is the third. But I want to see the Saints actually make the playoffs. I want to see the Saints go out there and put forward the best effort. But I'm just looking forward to week one. Week one is when I'm looking forward to the most because I want to see if the New Orleans Saints can actually win a game on opening day because it's been a while since they did that. I'm going to be honest. It's been about 4 years, something like that. Travis say I see 13-3 or 12-4. I can see like 12-4. I don't think they're gonna replicate the 13-3. I'm not look. I'm gonna be honest, man. There were a lot of games last season that went our way. The ball just bounced in the direction of the Saints. I know y'all remember that Cleveland Browns game early in the season. If the Cleveland Browns would have had a kicker, I'm talking about just an average kicker, they would have beat the Saints. I mean, that was just one of those spots. And then you had against the Baltimore Ravens, man, Justin Tucker, a guy who never misses a field goal, misses an extra point. Man, a lot of games bounced the way of the Saints, like a lot of them, man. So sometimes, man, it's better to be more lucky than good. That's what they say. But I don't think they're gonna replicate the 13-3. I think maybe 11-5 or 12-4. That's just my opinion. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, no, no. You saying damn the Browns would have been in the playoffs if not for the kicker? No, no, no. Because after that game, they cut him. After that game, they cut him, man. So what they probably would have been a playoff if they started Baker Mayfield the beginning of the season instead of Tyrod Taylor. I like Tyrod. I think he's a quality backup quarterback. Did you hear what I said? A quality backup quarterback. Okay, but I think if they would have just rolled with Baker the whole season, they probably would have made the playoffs, man. I think because they started Baker a little bit too late. That's the reason why they missed the playoffs. Didn't have really much to do with Zane Gonzalez. That's the kicker's name that missed those field goals. Didn't have nothing to do with Zane. Like it had a lot to do with, the head coach, which I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how this guy, like, Hugh Jackson kept getting jobs, man, because, I mean, he's a great human being, you can tell, but he's just a horrible coach, man. And I just think that they probably would have made the playoffs if Hugh didn't come back, and if they would have started Baker Mayfield at the beginning of the season. That's just my opinion on that. See if anybody has any more questions. How is 47? Did he fracture a bone in his shoulder? Is it just a rumor? I can't pronounce his name. He's a linebacker. You're referring to Alex Anzalone, man. That's Alex Anzalone, and you're asking, and how is he doing? Right now, it said that he's dealing with a serious injury right now. You know how it is, man. Everything with the New Orleans Saints organization is close to the hip. You know what I'm saying? Everything is close to the hip. Sean Payton comes from the Bill Parcells School, where they don't talk about injuries at all. But Alex Anzalone, if he's not on the field, that's a huge loss for the New Orleans Saints. I like his hustle. I like his ability to cover the running back coming out of the backfield. And, to be honest with you, I think he is a really good linebacker. So the Saints will really be missing something. But, I was thinking about this because I don't know if the person who mentioned this question is on the live stream tonight, but they did ask a question on the last video I did, but I didn't catch it. I guess they must have watched it after I posted it. But they asked about Alex Anzalone, and they asked, what should the Saints do, at the linebacker position? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I think the Saints already got a replacement, and his name is Craig Robinson. I know a lot of people don't talk about Craig Robinson because he mostly focused on special teams, but I like Craig Robinson, man. No, he's not the fastest linebacker you ever seen, and no, you know what I'm saying, he isn't the best when it comes to covering, but he has a lot of hustle, man. He has a way and a knack of getting around the football. Anytime he's in a game, he always just flashes. You know what I'm saying? Flashes all the time. I don't know why the New Orleans Saints don't put him in more, in part of that linebacker rotation. I can't answer that question. But the guy's like really, really good, and the teammates of the New Orleans Saints love him. Anytime that you see like some kind of locker room dancing or celebration, he's in the middle of it. I like Craig Robinson, man. I think Craig Robinson is the equivalent of Taysom Hill, what I'm saying, on the defensive side. Like I really do. And I think that a lot of people don't get this man a lot of credit. I understand why Sean Payton and the defensive coordinator Dennis Allen would actually like Alex Anzalone. But at the end of the day, I think Craig Robinson can step in and fill that void until Azaloni gets back. Drew, you asked what happened to Manti Teo. Um, he pulled the trick, you know what I'm saying? The same trick he had when he was talking about his girlfriend. He disappeared. That's what happened. Honestly, man. Like, oh, y'all remember like back in the day? I don't know if y'all remember this, where he was coming out of Notre Dame. He lied about having a girlfriend. He said his girlfriend died of leukemia, but it turns out his girlfriend wasn't real. Anyway, man, he pulled one of those, man. He pulled one of those disappearo tricks, man. Like, but look, coming out of college, coming out of Notre Dame, I watched Manti Te'o a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the things, he went to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame gets a lot of home games because they're with NBC. So NBC, you know what I'm saying, shows a lot of the Notre Dame games. So I watched me a lot of Manti Te'o. First off, in the combine, he was slow. That's the reason why he dropped in the draft. And man, he had issues tackling and also, you know what I'm saying, in coverage. And those are very important in today's NFL. Probably back in the days when Lawrence Taylor was at linebacker, you didn't have to too much worry about linebacker actually covering as long as you can just tackle the running back, because those was during the days where it was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But now the offense is so sophisticated because now you have running backs that can actually catch like wide receivers. So now the linebackers really have to know how to cover. They have to be almost like a lower version cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Not only should you know how to tackle, but you got to have some covering skills and some zone coverage skills as well, man. Because these running backs are really, really good. And Manti Te'o, he had an issue because he couldn't do any of those things. Like, yeah, he had a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, but man, once again, I said it before on a video. Hustle ain't gonna get you nothing but a pan pizza from Pizza Hut. You know what I'm saying? Because your kid got hustle. When you going out there watching your kid at the Pop Warner game, you'll congratulate that hustle. You know what I'm saying? And you'll probably say, hey, son, you really did a good job out there today. I'm proud of you, kid. Let's go to Pizza Hut, man. Get you a pan pizza. That's what hustle gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? But in the NFL, it's not gonna get you no job. You gotta know where you need to be at all times, man. And Manti Te'o, he was just always a defensive liability, and that's one of the reasons why he was on the sidelines. And eventually, you would see him on the sidelines. He had street clothes on because he couldn't get the he couldn't get in the rotation. So I don't know, man. That's what happened to him, though. Right now, I don't think he on anybody's team. I think the last time I heard about Manti Te'o, he was partnering with some kind of fitness guy, or whatever. There was doing some personal training. So shouts out to Manti Te'o, man. Hopefully he'll find a team. I heard Haloi Kakaha, since we talking about linebackers that's no longer with us. Haloi Kakaha is actually, I think he practiced with the Buffalo Bills. So I don't know if they signed him or not, but hopefully Kakaha can get a job, man. I think Kakaha was pretty good, man, but I just think that he was injured a lot. And that's one of the reasons why the Saints had to let him go, because once again, the best ability is availability, and he didn't have it. So it's very sad. But hopefully those guys can bounce back. Let me go back to the beginning. I don't want to miss anybody's questions, and I apologize because I'm basically just looking at some of the questions as they go, and I know a lot of people probably commented before I even started talking about Manti or the Saints record or what I think they're going to have. So let's see what we got here. Drew, you said I'm kind of scared of Taysom Hill's inaccuracy. I see a lot of trick passing plays with Sean's scheme. Do you think Taysom will step up? I think Taysom Hill is going to get better because you have no choice. Like if you want to make it in the NFL, you got to get better. Okay, but I think Taysom Hill can get better because he can't get any worse. And I'm not saying that Taysom Hill is bad, but what I'm saying is he does struggle with what you said, Drew. He is inaccurate, But I will say this about Taysom Hill, man. He came in as a project. So if he can get any better than what he was when he first got into the league, that'll be a plus. But I always just think as long as Sean Payton is his coach, he's probably always going to be that Swiss Army knife for the Saints because I just really feel like the Saints got Teddy Bridgewater back to be the successor of Drew Brees. And if I feel like if Teddy don't work out, maybe they'll put Taysom in, but I just don't see, Taysom being the franchise quarterback for the Saints. I think the Saints will probably draft somebody before they make Taysom Hill the franchise quarterback. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, and I also did a poll on my Facebook page. 59% of the people said that Teddy Bridgewater was going to be the starting quarterback of the Saints, and 41% said that Taysom Hill was. So that goes to show you where everybody at right there when it comes to Taysom Hill and Teddy Bridgewater. I like Taysom Hill, a lot of hustle, good player, a lot of heart, but I don't see him being a franchise quarterback. I feel like if Teddy don't work out, then the Saints gonna try to get somebody in the draft. That's what I truly believe. So hopefully Teddy can work out, man, because I like Teddy Bridgewater, man. I really do. And I feel like we kind of know what Teddy is. When you start dealing with like rookie quarterbacks, unless like the Saints like really suck and they get a guy down this way, I stay in South Carolina by the name of Trevor Lawrence. You know, unless the Saints just have a down season. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is a sophomore, so he still has to play one more year. But, the next year, if Drew Brees retires and Teddy Bridgewater is the starting quarterback and they stink and the Saints end up getting a first round pick or something like that, I mean, a first pick overall, and you just lucky to get Trevor Lawrence, then yeah. But anybody else, you probably gonna have to, coach up and get a guy acclimated. I think us as the Who Dat Nation, I think we take Drew Brees for granted sometimes, man, because we think that once he retires, somebody else can step in and they can do what he does. No, that is not true. That is not true, ladies and gentlemen. Drew Brees is one of a kind, man. Like for real, like. Drew Brees is one of a kind. Like, I don't think you're going to get a guy that's as determined, as driven, as much of a leader as Drew Brees is. That's hard to find, man. If you don't believe me, ask the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are still looking for the successor of Dan Marino to this day. To this day. For real, man. It's hard to find a franchise quarterback. You have the coach. I mean, they were lucky, man. I'm talking about really lucky. I mean, it came in an unfortunate circumstance because, Peyton Manning broke, I don't want to say broke his neck, but he had a real serious neck injury. And because of that, he had to sit out. And that caused for them to be so bad, they was able to get Andrew Luck. I mean, that's an unfortunate circumstance that turned into a blessing. I don't think a lot of teams get that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to find a true franchise quarterback, and that's why you got guys out here that's probably ain't worth $30 and $40 million. You know what I'm saying? Gonna end up getting it because a franchise quarterback is hard to find. So, man, we have to appreciate Drew Brees because we don't know who's gonna be the next in line, and it might be pretty ugly, man. I hope it's not, but you're gonna find out, man. There's only one Drew Brees. But Drew, that's a good question, man. That's a very good question about Taysom Hill. But I don't think he's going to be the franchise quarterback. Let's see. Who is going to be the biggest impact player on Sunday? The biggest impact player on Sunday, Brian, in my opinion, is probably going to be Emmanuel Butler. Okay, if his practice is any indication of what he can do on the field, he is going to be a monster on Sunday. And I think you're going to get a good look at him because, week 2 of preseason, guys played just a little bit longer. So you're going to be able to see what this guy can do. And I'm also looking forward to, I think his name Deontay Lewis. I'm looking forward to see what he can do on special team. I think he's going to I think he's going to make a big play. I was watching this guy. I went back and I watched the game against the Vikings, and this guy's really elusive, man. I think the Saints really found something at special teams with Deontay Lewis. So I'm interested to see what this guy can do on special teams, but I think he's going to do something special. But, Brian, if I can choose somebody, it has to be Emmanuel Butler because I'm liking what I'm seeing from this young man, and he's slowly putting himself in that starting rotation for the regular season. He's not going to be a practice squad guy from what I've seen. But thank you for the question, Brian. I appreciate that. Let's see who else. Who else has a question? Yeah, Travis, I agree. Craig gives us a lot of spark. He does, man. I don't understand why he don't play more, but it is what it is. Um, let's see. Yeah, Travis Johnson, you were saying like I said, like Taysom Hill on defense. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think I said that. Yeah, he is, man. That's what Craig Robinson is. He's a spark, man. That's what Taysom Hill is. Taysom Hill is a spark. How many times have we seen last season that the Saints were down and Taysom Hill come in and does something like a jet sweep or something like that, and then what I'm saying, he fires the team up. The guy was a spark. So yeah, I think that Craig Robinson is the same way. I think a lot of people respect him because if they did, man, the Saints wouldn't have re-signed him. I mean, he got a new contract. He got a new deal this season. So, the Saints respect him enough to try to keep him around. So that shows you a lot, right? Because if he were just just a special team player, I mean, special team players can be, I mean, flipped out, like it ain't nothing. But for them to select this guy and re-sign him, I think that means something. Yeah, Demi Matthews. Please pray for Nancy Parker's family. Yeah. Um, Look, I'm dedicating this episode to Nancy Parker. For those that aren't from New Orleans, you probably don't know who I'm talking about, but Nancy Parker, she was a news reporter in New Orleans for almost 25 years. She started her career on Fox 8. That was the news station down in New Orleans, and then she went to WGNO, which was Channel 26. I don't know if it still is to this day, but that's what it was when I was down there. But Nancy Parker, very classy lady. She died tragically today in a plane crash. She was actually covering a story about the history of the Tuskegee Airmen and her and a pilot who was over the local chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen down in New Orleans. He took her up, and it was the only two of them in a plane, and I think the engine malfunctioned and it caused the plane to crash, and both of them lost their lives. So Nancy Parker, she tragically died at the age of 53 years old. My prayers and my condolences go out to her family, the Fox 8 family that she had, the WGNO family that she had, and I think she was from Alabama, Opelika, Alabama. And I was talking to my fiance before I did this live stream, and my fiance, she's from Tuskegee, Alabama, and Opelika is probably like no less than 5 miles away from where she was. So she knew exactly where it was. And when she found out that the woman was from there, it kind of hit her because that's kind of like home team for her. So once again, rest in peace to Nancy Parker. Her legacy is gonna live on in New Orleans, man, no doubt. When you are, look, honestly, like when you're a news person in New Orleans, you're more like a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like a celebrity down in New Orleans. Like I can name so many individuals down in New Orleans. When I was growing up, I used to watch the morning news, and I'm probably about to get away from a few people because if you're not from New Orleans, you're not gonna know who I'm talking about. But individuals like Eric Paulson and Sally Ann Roberts. Sally Ann Roberts' sister is Robin Roberts. Y'all probably know her from Good Morning America. John Snell, Bob Breck, Don Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Like Bruce Katz. Those are the people I grew up with watching, man. Those were the people that were my trusted news folk. You know what I'm saying? Ed Daniels, I seen him. He's still working with the Saints. Man, so many people down there in New Orleans, man. That, like, for real, I know I stay in South Carolina, but man, that's my home. Like, New Orleans gonna forever be my home. You know what I'm saying? Born and raised there, left after Katrina, you know what I'm saying? Went to college out in Jackson State. Shouts out to Jackson State University. But my heart always belonged to New Orleans, man. And I remember Nancy Parker. I remember when Nancy Parker first came to the news station, man. I remember when WGNO first came out. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been around for a long time, man. So rest in peace once again to Nancy Parker, man. Her legacy and will live on, man. A classy lady. Got opportunity even to interview the president of the United States. Not this president, I think President Bush. So, I mean, she's done some remarkable things in her lifetime, and it's unfortunate that she passed away on today. But if we can look at it in any type of positive perspective, she died doing something that she loved. She was covering a news story, something that she was born to do. So us in the Who Dat Nation, I'm pretty sure I speak for everybody here on this live. Rest in peace to Nancy Parker. You are a New Orleans legend, and you're a New Orleans treasure, no doubt. But let's on some much lighter news. Let's get back to the questions, man. That hurt me though. Anybody, I mean, it's so unfortunate the way she passed away. It was so unfortunate, but prayers go out to her and her family. Would you start Dwayne Washington over Murray? I don't like the way Murray stands straight up when he runs. Look, Travis, what you doing, man? You nitpicking right now. Like, I don't care how he run. Long as he get to the end zone, that's all I care about. Yeah, I don't care if he stand up straight, if he bend down low, if he sneak through the hole. I don't care. As long as he get there. Look, he's not starting over. Dwayne Washington is not starting over Latavius Murray. Man, get that out your mind right now. The Saints paid this man $4 million a year for 3 years in order for this man to go out here, you know what I'm saying, and perform at a high level. So Dwayne Washington, as much as I like him, as much as I think he's the next New Orleans version of Pierre Thomas, a guy who is, came out of nowhere to make a lot of noise. Latavius Murray will be playing for the Saints. Okay, he will be playing for the Saints. No doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? He will be the starter. He will be in that rotation with Alvin Kamara. And until he gets hurt, which I hope he does not, Dwayne Washington will not see more playing time than him. Okay, so the only thing you can hope for, which I hope you don't, because I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but the only thing that you can hope for is him to stand up straight and somebody hit him, and then Dwayne Washington comes in and take his place. But until then, man, $4 million a year, and he has the so 4 years with that 12 mil. Man, he ain't getting on the field before Murray. Not happening, man. Not happening, my friend. But Travis, that's a good question though, man. But standing up straight, like, come on, man. Like, it doesn't matter though. Like, I know a lot of people that run funny, man. Like, I could think about, for the Giants, Ahmad Bradshaw. Like, I don't know if y'all remember him, but man, the dude just run ridiculous. Like, even Marshawn Lynch, like, just runs straight up and just crazy and wild, but hell, it was hard to bring down. So I don't care how you run, as long as you get that 5 yards a clip and you get in that end zone when in a goal line situation. I don't care how you run. You can run, like I said, you can run standing up tall. You can sneak through the hole. You know what I'm saying? You can run bow-legged. I don't care. As long as you get in the end zone and the referees put both of their hands up for the touchdown, I do not care. Yeah, man, but hey, what's up, Invictus? What's going on? Keen Arthur, who taught those cornerbacks to not look back for the ball when the receiver's eyes go up? Be out there hoping to knock the ball away when they turn around. Yeah, I don't like that either. Like, I say this all the time, and of course Deion Sanders says all the time. He says 5% of secondary players, they try to make a play. The other 95% just don't want to get beat. Okay, that's the reason why we look at people like Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, you know what I'm saying, Sean Dawkins, Sean Taylor. You know what I'm saying? That's why we look at people like that with so much respect, because those guys had amnesia on the field. If they blow coverage or something like that, man, they going right back out there trying to go to the ball. They're trying to make plays, okay? So I don't understand. I really don't, bro. I don't understand why they don't turn their head back. But I do know this. The Saints need some playmakers in the secondary. I will not accept I will not accept guys just knocking a ball away and cool ass handshakes after that happen. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Some of the handshakes they got, you know what I'm saying, after they give up passes, you know what I'm saying, that's pretty cool. But I want to see some people in a damn end zone. I want to see some pick sixes. I want to see some returns for touchdowns. I want to see these guys jumping in front of routes. It's been a long time since I seen a cornerback or a safety jump in front of a route. I think it had to be like Tracy Porter back in the days when he took it 71 yards for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I want to see some guys actually taking advantage of some film study. That's what I want to see. Bump all this cool handshaking and knocking the ball down and you know what I'm saying, knocking the ball in the air and nobody catching it. Man, bump all that. I want to see some guys turn some turnovers into touchdowns. I want to see some fumble recoveries. I want to see that these guys are actually worth the price of admission, man, worth these big contracts that they are going to get in the near future, man, because I just don't want to accept, you know what I'm saying, PDUs. You know what I'm saying? PDUs is past breaks for those that don't know. PD, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see some PBUs. You know what I'm saying? Some PBUs, dudes breaking up passes. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see all this, you know what I'm saying, like, all this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see these guys just trying to bat the ball away. I don't know why they don't turn their head around. But one person, I'm glad he's not with the Saints anymore. I know he's a local guy, and I'm probably about to upset some people, but Delvin, bro. I know y'all remember that game, man. I can't. This game where this guy got smoked so bad, he was looking up at the lights trying to figure out where the ball was at. That was embarrassing as hell. Like, so embarrassing. You know, and I had to talk about Delvin, man. And I think I talked about Delvin so bad he actually blocked me on Twitter. But I don't care, man. Like, honestly, like, you can't be out there looking at man at the lights, man. Like, you like that was just awful. I don't want to see anything like that. As long as they ain't doing that, man. Like, I can understand them not turning their head around. Which no, I can't understand why them turning their head around. But for you to be looking up at the lights, like you, bruh, man, that was an epic fail. Like, for real. Like, if they would have just cut him right after that, I wouldn't have been upset about that. But I mean, it was good. He had a good story, but he was awful. Like, absolutely awful. He had a couple good games, but that was just sad. But they do need to turn their head around. I know I just went off into a rant about Delvin, bro, but when you said not turn your head around, that just automatically just gave me flashbacks. That gave me flashbacks, man. Man, that was horrible. Let's see. Eli Apple last season until he got better, and now we want to get rid of Dan Arnold. Yeah, give Dan Arnold a chance, man. I like Dan Arnold. You know, I think Dan Arnold. He's young, man, so he's going to get better. I think. Look, I'm dead serious right now, and I'm not even saying this for a joke. If the Saints get rid of Dan Arnold's going to be a real huge contributor to somebody's team. So I'm willing to wait for the development of Dan Arnold. I am. I mean, I think we still got Josh Hill, and now we got Jared Cook. I think we good, man. I mean, we got two blocking tight ends that can catch. I think the Saints are going to be all right. I really do. Let's see. I'm still going down the line. People talk about Nancy Parker, of course. Yeah, that is terrible. Um, Man, Ice Cream Man 504, man, y'all subscribe to the channel. Ice Cream, I want you to start making videos again, my friend. I want you to start making videos, all right? You know, I think your content, you know what I'm saying, is really good. I think you got a good, you know, I think you got good knowledge of the team. So I need you to start making videos again, my friend. All right, Sunny Up, real Saints fan here. I'm from New Orleans East. High school at Sarah T. Reed. I don't rock with Reed, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. I graduated from Carver High School, man. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to New Orleans East, man. Sarah T. Reed, man. Stand up one time. We used to beat y'all down in football. Yeah, we used to do that, man. But it's all good, though, man. You know, shouts out to, you know, New Orleans East. You know, man, he took me back with Sarah T. Reed, man. I remember all them schools out there, man. You know, like, man, McDonald 35. I went to Frederick Douglass on St. Claude my freshman year before I transferred to Carver High School. Sarah T. Reed, I used to always hang out there, man. You know, I had my homeboy. Shouts out to my boy Corey Hood. He used to be out there, man. So, man, I used to always be out that way. You know, I always used to be out that way out there in the east, man. You know, Lake Forest Mall before they closed down. You know what I'm saying? I used to be out there. Used to catch that bus, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, mom didn't have no car at the time. But I used to be out there, man. So shouts out to the east. Somebody said that they went to Fauché. Shouts out to Fauché, man. Man, look, you know what I'm saying? I got respect for all them schools, okay? I think only school that I didn't rock with, Old Perry Walker. That's the only school I don't rock with because I'm gonna tell y'all why. Okay, my senior year, we played football, man. We had a really good football team, really good. And we had this guy on the team named Archie. Yeah, I'm named. Look, I'm putting that boy name out there. He was 19 years old. Dude didn't even play. He was just on a bench. Turns out, I think he lied about his age or something like that. This dude ain't getting no playing time. So Old Perry Walker, we played them in the playoffs, and we beat them. And instead of them taking that L, they decided to go to the state and say that we had Archie on the team. And they ended up taking our place in the playoffs the following week. And guess what? Karma is a B, Old Perry Walker, because y'all lost again. All right, so I ain't got no respect for Old Perry Walker, man. That's gonna forever be one of the schools I have zero respect for. I have zero respect for it. But they did have some good players on the team that we beat, man. Y'all remember Keenan Lewis? Yeah, he was on that team. Y'all remember Mike Wallace? He was on that team. So, yeah, Old Perry Walker, that's the only school in New Orleans that I have zero respect for. Yeah. I know we ain't talking about the Saints no more, but it is what it is. We talking about New Orleans, so that is New Orleans, my friend. Yeah, but shouts out to Fauché. Shouts out to Fauché. Much love to y'all. But let's get back. Young Nola says, you think Lil Jordan will make the team? Yep, I do think he gonna make the team, but it will be the practice squad. Yes. I know he had a touchdown last game, but I think that the Saints wide receiver rotation is deep. Okay. So I think that he will be a practice squad player. I think that you know, if somebody just so happened to get injured, he will get activated. And if he gets activated, hopefully he can make a play or two so he can stay active. But he is going to make the team. I don't see the New Orleans Saints giving up on a guy like that. I just don't. Okay. So Lil Jordan Matthews will be a New Orleans Saint. He has a huge upside. He's a big physical guy. Reminds me, I ain't gonna lie, he reminds me of Brandon Marshall. He reminds me of Brandon Marshall. I know a lot of people didn't get a good look at Brandon Marshall last year because he didn't play. But if you watch Brandon Marshall with the Bears and with the Broncos, you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, he's not as fast as Brandon Marshall, but his yards after the catch, if you know, if it's any indication of how he was at Texas, you know, I think the Saints are going to have something because he always got that yak, and that's what you want from a wide receiver. You want a wide receiver to give you that yak. All right, so he can give you the yards after the catch. White, BDV. Hey TJ, hey, what's going on, man? Jerry, man, what's up, man? Hey, hey, Jerry, man, what's going on, man? Huge supporter of the podcast, man. I really appreciate it, Jerry. Thank you, man. David, great show, man. Enjoy it. Peace out from Jersey. Like, shouts out to Jersey, man. Like, shouts out to you, man. Thank you. Thank you for checking out the live stream. I'm trying to see. Burnt biscuit. Yeah, man, that's one of my catchphrases, man. Like, you know, getting burnt like a biscuit. And I'll tell you why I started saying this, right? I'll tell you the story, all right? My grandmother, she was a good cook, all right? And she always used to have biscuits in the house. Y'all know, like those Pillsbury biscuits that come in a tube. So one day, I wanted to cook, but my grandmother, you know, she never let, you know, us cook because we was too young. But one day, like I ended up like sneaking in the kitchen and cooking some biscuits, and I ended up cooking them too long. They ended up getting burnt. And my grandmother, of course, she whooped me because of it or whatever like that and punished me. And and then after that, like I don't know, my brothers and stuff like that, they laughed at me. My sister laughed at me or whatever like that. And we used to race as kids and stuff like that. And they'd be like, "Man, you got burnt like them biscuits you made." You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, like I just started to say that like all the time, like burnt like a biscuit. It kind of just went into my adulthood. So that's the reason why I say burnt like a biscuit, man. That's something that I say, and also it's a shout out to my grandmother. Once again, if you watched the last podcast live stream, my grandmother's the reason why I fell in love with the Saints. So that's kind of like my tribute to her when I say burnt like a biscuit. So if y'all hear that, when I'm talking about a cornerback getting smoked like brisket, burnt like a biscuit, that's kind of a tribute to my grandmother. All right, because that's the story, and remembers of me almost possibly burning her house down. But anyway, back to back to the question. Oh man, um, who will be the 5 and 6 receivers that make the team? All right, count them out. Michael Thomas, 1. Traquan Smith, 2. Ted Ginn Jr., 3. Emmanuel Butler, 4. Keith Kirkwood, 5. Austin Carr, 6. Okay, you can flip them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Austin Carr will be on the team. Like the way that Sean Payton likes Austin Carr, I'd be highly surprised and shocked. You know what I'm saying? That if he don't make the team, it probably would have been Rashard Matthews if he would have stayed, but he decided to leave and give this long speech about how he quit and why he quit. But who knows? Anyway, I think that. But those are your 6. Okay, Lil Jordan, unless he like really tears it up these next few weeks, he's not gonna beat out Austin Carr. The Saints like him too much. Trust me. Austin Carr, Lil Jordan gonna really have to make some noise in these few games. Okay, Cyril Grayson, I think he's gonna be on the practice squad, and if Austin Carr doesn't make it, it's because what's the game? Dante Allen, the guy that's running back the kicks, because he's gonna be in a rotation. That's the only reason why Austin Carr wouldn't make the team. All right, so. Yeah, let's see. Any more questions? Let's see. They say defense wins championship. Do you think Pete Carroll forgot about that? Oh man, nah, I don't think so, man. I think Seattle Seahawks still have a good defense, man. They still got Bobby Wagner out there, man. So I know you don't have Earl Thomas anymore. He's with Baltimore, but I think they're a pretty good defense, and they kind of transition, and now they got like a lot of young players on the team too. So I think they're pretty good. I mean, they were pretty good in the playoff game against the Cowboys. I think if they played in Seattle, they would have won. I think it was just one of those games where the team that had home field advantage just won the game. But I think they did a good job. And also, man, the Cowboys defensive coordinator was Seattle's former defensive coordinator, so that was a huge plus too because he knew those guys' tendencies, so he was able to like kind of tell the offense of the Cowboys like who to throw at and how to approach them defensively. So I mean offensively. So yeah. Um, I can understand them not turning. Okay, I already answered that one. Apple got caught in the lights. Apple always getting caught in the lights, man. Hopefully, they don't get caught in the lights too many more times. Curtis says, "What do you think Kamara needs to work on this season? Like, where could he improve in his game?" It's hard to say about Alvin Kamara because he can do everything. The one thing I probably would say he have to work on is his endurance. Now he is the every down back. It is his backfield. Now I was reading an article. They were saying that Alvin Kamara, this is his backfield now, and I think that his endurance is one, and I think also like he needs to build up his weight. You know what I'm saying? I think it looks like he gained a little weight and he got a little muscle on him, so that's a good thing. One thing I think that he needs to work on, he was pretty good, but he can get better. Is his third down blocking. I mean, most of the time on third down, they had Mark Ingram, and Mark Ingram was one of the best blocking running backs that you can find. So I think that's something that he needs to work on. Running in between the tackles, he can do. I don't listen to the media because they don't watch the Saints games like we do. So they probably just think that Alvin Kamara is just a glorified Brian Westbrook, and Brian Westbrook was like the running back for the Philadelphia Eagles who used to just catch passes out the backfield. But Alvin Kamara can do it all. So I just think that he just needs to build up his strength, and I think that's probably something that he just needs to work on. Besides that, I think he's a complete running back. I think if he was a New York Giant or a Dallas Cowboy, he'd probably be considered one of the best running backs in the National Football League. I mean, that's just my opinion. But I don't think he has to work on much. I think if Alvin Kamara like stays consistent, we're basically looking at a future Hall of Famer. Let's see. Ice cream. Who do you think the next man up? Okay, Smith, Kirkwood, or Lil Jordan? I just said Traquan Smith, man. Traquan Smith, ice cream. I think that he's next up because the Saints need him to be next up, and I like what I've been seeing out of training camp from him. So that's what I think. I think he needs to. I think that's the person that's probably going to be the next man up. I'm sorry, I was talking and reading this at the same time. Keen Arthur. Kamara needs to brace for hits better. I didn't like how many helmet to helmet hits he took last year, most of which were called, especially in Atlanta in the Cowboy game. Look, man, they play a very physical game there, King Arthur. Regardless to him bracing himself or not, you're going to get hit, okay? Alvin Kamara is probably one of the most elusive backs in the National Football League. His ability to get through tough spots, and guys have been talking about, it's well documented that guys have said that he is very, very hard to get that good shot in on. You know what I'm saying? You basically have to go illegal on him and get him out the game. I take it as a badge of honor. I don't want to see Kamara get hurt, but I think teams realize that in order to stop the Saints, they have to stop Alvin Kamara, and they know that. And that's the reason why they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they try to take shots at that man, because they know they can't stop him. Okay, because that Jalen Smith hit helmet to helmet, like that was so direct and blatant. I can't believe he ended up getting fined. He did end up getting fined, and he deserved to get fined because they knew, man. In order for they knew they weren't gonna win that game in Kamara. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to do something. Okay, because and also like the Atlanta Falcon game a couple years ago, I think that was his rookie season. They ended up knocking him out of the game. Yeah, man, that's the only way you can stop Kamara. You gotta knock him out, man, straight up, because he gonna get you. He gonna burn you. That's just him. Judy said, "Old Perry Walker here." Okay, Judy. Look, I love you. I love you, Judy. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you. I'm sorry you went to Walker. She says, OP Walker here, 1979. Love the story. Is Azaloni out yet? Yes. Yes, he is. He's out for right now. What's going to happen with the linebacker corp, Judy? Probably going to put in Craig Robinson. And I think that's still a good look. Craig Robinson is a good linebacker. Okay, very underrated in my opinion. This our year. I agree. Stunner. I believe this is our year. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? We already had Minnesota. We got them. You know what I'm saying? We got them off the hook. And then, last season, the NFL put us on the hook. So hopefully, the whole world watching, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully they won't do us or screw us over like they did last season, because I'm kind of tired of it now. I'm kind of tired of them boys screwing us over, man. I think they trying to screw us over just enough to when Drew Brees can retire. Okay, that's why I feel. I feel like they trying to wait on Drew Brees to retire. If we screw him over a few more times, then Drew Brees will be, up there in age and they ain't gonna be able to win nothing. Look, I feel that way. I feel that way sometimes. I feel like there's a conspiracy against the Saints. I feel like they don't. I think they go against the natural order of things. Maybe that's the reason why they don't like him. I don't know. Do you think Drew Brees will catch a touchdown in the red zone? Uh, Drew, you tell me. Your name is Drew goddamn Brees. You tell me. Are you gonna catch a touchdown? If you gonna catch a touchdown, maybe you can tell me. Nah, man, but seriously, yeah, he probably will, man. I think it's just a matter of time that Sean Payton actually look and sees that nobody is actually paying attention to Drew Brees, and he'll probably have Drew Brees sneak out the sneak out behind the defense and catch a touchdown. That'd be interesting to see. It'll be funny though, because that's not something that we see every day. Somebody said, "What do you think about Davenport?" I think Davenport is young, and I think that Saints fans need to get off this man case. Okay, look, I understand that we all want a Lawrence Taylor, we want a Dwight Freeney, we want a Reggie White, and that's what we expect when you're giving up first round picks. But this guy is young. I seen flashes. I think that his first year he had a lot of injuries, and that's one of the reasons that he got slowed down. I think that he is going to pay dividends for the Saints because anytime he's healthy, he has been a game changer. Okay, like he was like one of the most dominant players on the field. So I think y'all really gonna see something from Davenport this season. And I know you probably not gonna see that in practice, but you have to look at it this way. All right, the Saints got the best offensive line in football, and he's going up against Teron Armstead, ranked number 2. Pro Football Focus had ranked him number 2 out of the left tackles in the National Football League. So you going up against the best left tackle in the National Football League, or the second best. So I mean, look, if you're going up against that guy and that guy whooping you, hey, ain't no shame in that. Because everybody that you're gonna play from week to week is not named to Ryan Armstead. So don't pay attention to what you see in practice, because the guy will be a bona fide certified beast, and he's going to be better because he is going up against Teron Armstead in practice. Iron sharpen iron. That's not just a saying. That's a real thing. All right. Let's see. I already mentioned that about Davenport. Breeze love his diamonds. He's going he gonna be going to Jared a lot. I guess you talking about the lawsuit, the $6 million that was given to Drew Brees and his wife, because I think some jewelers sold them some illegal diamonds or something like that. So yeah, he is blinging, man. He got that diamond money now. Literally got that diamond money. Okay. Which team will give the Saints the most trouble, Rams or Cowboys? Look, honestly, in my opinion, probably gonna be the Cowboys. I know we don't like to hear that, and I can go in on the Cowboys because I don't like them. I don't like their fan base. I don't like the way that they go at Saints, the Saints fans, because the Cowboys, they did a damn thing in about 25 years. But if you talk to Cowboy fans, we got 5 Super Bowls. We got 5 Super Bowls, like they won them last week. Man, look, last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, I was 9 years old. I was 9. I was 9 years old, man. Friday, the first Friday movie was out, okay? President Bill Clinton was the president of the United States. 1-800-COLLECT was the actual thing. That's the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, okay? 1-800-CALL ATT. Like, come on, man. The Oklahoma City bombing happened. Seriously. Like, I don't get it. But at the end of the day, I think the Cowboys going to give the Saints the most trouble. I don't think the Rams are going to give the Saints the most trouble, because I think the Saints are kind of chomping at the bit to get back at for the Rams after the blown 9 call that took place. The 2 hits that he took on Vontez Burfict type ish on Antonio Brown. Yeah, that was pretty deadly. I think you're talking about that wild card game when the Bengals played against the Steelers. Yeah, Alvin Kamara did take a huge hit. He did take a huge hit by Jalen Smith, and again I think it was Deion Jones hit him in that Atlanta game. So, but and it just comes with the territory, man. Like, for real, like, it just comes with the territory. Sometimes you gonna get hurt. It's football. I don't think he needs to change the way he runs though, because I mean he get more positive plays than negative. I think we all can agree with that. Uh, Did we get any speedsters at the wide receiver or cornerback position? I think Cyril Grayson, a guy from LSU, he's a track star. Deontay Allen, he is a pretty fast receiver. Um, Besides that, same usual suspects: Ted Ginn Jr., Traquan Smith. Those guys can run. But to answer your question, just strictly getting a fast guy, probably not. Cornerback position probably gonna be the usual suspects: Lattimore, Apple, Patrick Wilderson is coming back from his injury. PJ Smoke, Turkey Williams. Uh, Probably gonna get rid of Ken Crawley, him and his green mouthpiece. Uh, Man, look, if you're gonna have an exotic looking mouthpiece that goes against the colors of the team, at least be a beast, okay? He out there with a green mouthpiece on. Basically, the only thing that you're doing is paying attention and letting the whole stadium know that you about to get smoked, okay? You be like, man, look at that dude with that green mouthpiece. Man, dude got burnt 30 yards. Yeah, yeah. So same suspects at the cornerback position, from my knowledge, man. Uh, Appreciate that, Jonathan, man. Thanks for the love, man. I appreciate you looking at and viewing the podcast and checking it out. Appreciate that. What can opposing defenses do to stop us with Kamara, Thomas, Cooks, Breeze on the field at once? Man, that's gonna be a hard. That's gonna be hard. Now the Saints actually got a tight end that they can rely on as as the safety valve. Drew Brees has one now. It's gonna be tough, man. It's probably gonna be one of those years where you remember when the Saints, had one of the. I think they had one of the highest scoring teams in the NFL, and they also had like the number one offense. I think that was the same year they ended up losing to the 49ers in the divisional round when they had Darren Sproles and Jimmy Graham. I think it's gonna be one of those type of seasons, man. Uh, let's see, what that Fauché. I believe that if Davenport plays like he did before he got hurt last year on the D line, he will be lit with Jordan on the other side. Man, look, like I said, I think that he gonna be good, man. Look, go back and watch that Minnesota Vikings game and that Washington Redskin game, and you tell me that Marcus Davenport doesn't have the ability to be special. That's all I gotta say, man. Like, just go back and watch those games. Matter of fact, like I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. Just go and type in Marcus Davenport highlights. Watch and just watch, and don't just watch like the outcome of the play. Just watch him get to the quarterback and watch him force the fumble. And you tell me if this guy's not special. I don't just watch the outcome of plays. I go back and I watch the guy handwork. I watch the footwork. I watch all that stuff, man. Just go back and watch that and tell me you don't think that guy's special. Davenport will break out this season. I agree. I think he will. It will be the year 30,012. Let's see. 3012. And the Cowboy fans will be like, we got 5 Super Bowls. Yeah. Man, I'm tired of the Cowboy fans, man. Like, for real. Like, I can't stand Cowboy fans. They got the most annoying fan base in the National Football League. I talk about the Atlanta Falcons sometimes. The Atlanta Falcons just don't have fans, okay? They got fake fans. Most of the people that stay in Atlanta, aren't from there, okay? So they casual fans. But the Dallas Cowboy fans, like, they all over, and they just annoying, man. And they so annoying because they got amnesia. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing how Jerry Jones can just gas up his fan base year after year and make these guys believe that it's their year. It's incredible. It's like super incredible the way this guy does that. Like they lose year after year, no Super Bowl. But this guy comes out there this year and they like, yeah, Jerry, how about them Cowboys? And go out there 8-8, 7-9, 8-8. I don't get it. I really don't. I really do not get it. But hey, I guess I will say this though. As long as I've been a Saints fan, I've been realistic. If we weren't that good, I was like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's gonna be our year. I ain't never just like, man, we going to Super Bowl, man. We going to Super Bowl. Like bruh. Like, I don't know if y'all ever heard of this show called Married with Children or you watched it. Okay, you remember Al Bundy. Al Bundy was a shoe salesman. And his whole highlight of his entire life was scoring 4 touchdowns in one game for Polk High. And he would talk about that time after time after time. But in reality, Al Bundy was just a middle-aged failure of a man. And that's what I look at when it comes to the Cowboys. Cowboy fans are like Al Bundy talking about those 4 touchdowns. That's the way I look at them. And we got 5 Super Bowls. Okay, man, for real. Like, there's a kid right now that's almost 30 that that don't remember the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. Like, seriously. Oh man. Man, I can't stand them though. I can't stand the Cowboy. Cyril Grayson, Sherrills, and Dante Harris. Thank you, Harris. I keep on saying Dante Allen. Who the hell is Dante Allen? Thank you, Adam. I'm like, who? Like, I'll keep on saying Allen. His name is Dante Harris. Yeah, Dante Harris. Okay, that's the guy who I think is a speedster. That 49ers divisional game was a killer. Yes, it was, man. Yeah, yes, it was. Yeah, I can't even look at Vernon Davis sometimes, man. I can't even look at it. Every time I look at Vernon Davis, man, I just get really upset. Let's see. What kind of trick plays Sean got up his sleeve this year? Is Bridgewater going to see some snaps this year like Taysom Hill? Only time will tell, man. I think you might see Teddy Bridgewater, but I wouldn't think that you'll see much of him. I don't think they'll want to mess with the flow of the game, and I don't think that they'll want to, mess up the rhythm with Drew Brees. I think with Taysom Hill, I think you kind of, sprinkle him in just a little bit. But when you start talking about 2 quarterback rotations, that's messing with the chemistry and the rhythm of the quarterback. So you got to be real careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Teddy Bridgewater can catch a pass or something. That's one thing. But taking him out, taking Drew out so Teddy can throw a pass, I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, you can't. I wouldn't want to do that. They say, and Dak gonna get $40 million. Look, I'm all for players getting their money, man. These guys put their body on the line, so if he get $40 million, it's because he the next man up. Does he deserve $40 million? Hell to the no. I think we all can agree with that. Dak Prescott is a decent quarterback at best. $40 million quarterback, hell's to the nah. All right, but I just don't like the Dallas Cowboys, man. I just don't. I'm not a fan. Never will be a fan. And I used to stay in Dallas. Like, right after I graduated from Jackson State, I moved to Dallas. I went to SMU for a little while. So, yeah. And I couldn't really stand the fan base, man. I just couldn't. I was like, oh my goodness, man. Like, Cowboy Nation, like, these people are just so delusional. Like, you really have to go to Dallas to really know how delusional their fan base is. Like, these people are delusional. I remember I remember this was the same year that the Saints went to the Super Bowl, right? So it was when Brad Favre and the Minnesota Vikings went up against the Dallas Cowboys. And I watched this game at Buffalo Wild Wings. And it was right after the Saints won. The Saints, of course, they beat the Arizona Cardinals, all right? So me and my brother, we psyched, we hype, we excited, man. And we up in Buffalo Wild Wings, man. And all of a sudden, the Cowboy fan, they had to lay the game. So my brother, he had on a Reggie Bush jersey. And the guy comes in, oh, you're in Cowboy territory now. You better watch out. Oh, you're in the wrong place now. This Cowboy country. Man, it was so deep. I'm in there full of Cowboy fans. Of course, we stand in Dallas. And we all know what happened. Brett Favre destroyed them boys. And all of a sudden, you just seen one person start fouling out. 2 people start fouling out. 10 people start fouling out. And I was like, hey, where y'all going? Where y'all going? They would talk about how they were going to play the Saints next week. Oh, they was gonna destroy the Saints. They were going all the way to the Super Bowl. I'm like, where y'all going? I'm like, the game ain't over yet. But it was over, man. And I ain't gonna lie, that was one of the happiest times of my life. There's nothing that will make me smile more than to watch a Dallas Cowboy fan cry over a defeat. Them and Atlanta Falcon fans, oh my goodness, that is the greatest feeling in the world. Just think about just a great ice cream sundae with all the fixings on it, and you taste it, and it tastes so good. That's exactly how it feels when the Falcons and a Cowboy lose in epic fashion. Yes. Yeah, man. Seriously. But once again, man, I'm about to go ahead and head up out of here. But I want to say thank y'all for checking out this live video. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for your questions. I enjoy spending time with you. Once again, if you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, please do go ahead and hit that subscription button. And you can also follow me on Facebook.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast. And if you're on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram at TJAY Jones _. TJAY Jones _. Okay. And I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Once again, rest in peace to Nancy Parker. Once again, O'Perry Walker. I don't like y'all. Once again, Atlanta Falcon fans, 28-3. Once again, Dallas Cowboy fans, 5 Super Bowls, but ain't won nothing in almost 26 years. All right. Till next time, all I have to say is, who dat?